Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to do a little bit of a different video. I'm going to do a story time about how I ended up with the curfew at age 27 while vacationing in New York. Stay tuned. So I got the idea to do this video actually today. I came across an Instagram memory of me at the Brooklyn Bridge 2 years ago. So I was like, you know, that's a really funny story how that whole day went, and I was like, that'll make a really great story time. So I decided to make a video about it. So I went to visit my grandmother. She lives in New York, and this is my very first day straight off the jumbo jet. I decided let me go explore a little bit. My cousin had given me a little itinerary to follow, different places in New York that I could probably check out that I think might be cool. So one of the first places, or one of the closer places I could have went to check out is the Brooklyn Bridge. So I said to myself, alright, let me go see what the infamous Brooklyn Bridge is about. So I followed the directions using my little Google Maps on my phone, you know, like a real tourist. And I decided to go out to Brooklyn Bridge. Mind you, I am doing all of this exploring by myself. No tour guide, no nobody. Never been to New York before ever in my life, first time. But I decided to travel, take the subway. I had my little Metro card and I was off. So long story short, got onto the train, got onto where the Brooklyn Bridge is. Did a little walk across the Brooklyn Bridge, came back to where I started, the Brooklyn Bridge Park. I think that's what they call it. So after when I came back, I was trying to figure out, well, how the hell do I get back to the subway that I came from? Because for those of you who've been to New York, or maybe I just a little bit slow and I don't know how things work, but I thought you had to go back to the train station that you came from, or at least one that could take you back to, or pass you along to where you need to go. So see me looking for the train station that I came from, walking back, looking around Google Maps, trying to find back where my starting point was to how I got to Brooklyn Bridge. It was a mess. So it took me maybe like an hour to eventually get back to the subway, to find the subway, because again, I just came out from underground and started walking, following Google Maps. I didn't look around for landmarks, this, that, and the other. So ended up lost at the Brooklyn Bridge, couldn't find back my way to the subway. But anyways, so took me, like I said, an hour to get back to the actual subway. So when I get back to the subway now, I didn't realize at the point in time that different subways only take you uptown on one side of the road and some take you downtown on the other side of the road. So I ended up in the subway on the side that only takes you uptown. But I didn't realize, because for some reason, however the train system is built underground, it looked as though it was going back down this way to me, which is where I came in my head. That's where I came from. So hopped on the first train that I saw was taking me back to where I needed to go. Well, at least it had the name of the place that I came from. Didn't look to see where I was headed to. I just saw a familiar place and I hopped on the train. So we have a little family chat, me and my cousins and my aunts and stuff. So I was talking to them on the family chat on WhatsApp, and I decided, for some strange reason, I can't remember how the conversation came up, but we ended up talking about me exploring, reaching to Brooklyn Bridge, that kind of thing. So I have a cousin who was on the family chat that lives in New York, and when I was telling her about the subway system and what stop I was at next, because I was trying to figure out, so I hopped on the train. And I remember where the story goes. I hopped on the train and I remember messaging in the family chat to find out what stop I needed to get off at to be able to get to closest to where my grandmother lives. So I have a cousin who lives in New York. She was also on the family chat. So she messaged me privately and she asked me what stop I just passed, so she'll know how many more stops before I actually need to get off the train. So when I told her where I was, I think it was 130 something street or something to that effect. But in any event, I was heading further uptown and I had no idea, thinking I was going back downtown. So she was like, she messaged me privately in the family group or outside of the family chat because she didn't want to scare my mom and my aunts and whoever. So she's like, you're on the wrong train, you need to get off, come out, cross the road, and go back down into the subway and take a downtown train. So I was like, okay. Learning curves being in New York. So I ended up now doing exactly what she said. I came out on the next stop, went upstairs onto the road, crossed. Thank God I had an unlimited Metro card, because that would have been costly. Came out, went downstairs into the other side, and took a downtown train to come back to where I was supposed to originally be going. So eventually I come out where I'm supposed to, and mind you, this is around, what, today is the 17th or so of April. So at least for me, because I'm living in the Caribbean, it's hot, it's sunny, it was peacefully cold, like the little frost coming out of your mouth, all of that jazz. So I end up stopping, I bought a coffee, and I taking my time, because even though it's after 6, so like minutes to 7, it's still bright outside, which isn't normal for the Caribbean. So I was enjoying myself. So I wasn't really in a hurry to get back home because it was still bright outside. When I got back home, and my grandmother now, she is livid. She wants to know where I am, what I was doing so long, how it have so many elements out here, and this, that, and the other. And I'm like, yo, it's only minutes to 7, the only place still bright. I was like, I'm not 16. But I think my grandmother just isn't accustomed to living with young people, and so she ended up telling me that she don't want me to come home after 6, and this, that, and the other. So I think that kind of stifled my exploration in New York, because I never got to see Times Square in the night, because I would have loved to go out in the night and see Times Square with all the lights. I didn't go out at night because I had a curfew instituted by my grandmother at age 27. First time in New York, and I need to find my tail home before 6 o'clock. Oh gosh. I know my grandmother means the best, and I do appreciate the concern, but it really put a damper on my vacation in terms of the things I was able to do. And I know she can't help herself, that's how she is, and I really do appreciate the concern. I remember there was a time I went down to Times Square. That was the day I went to the Wax Museum, and there was a shooting or something that happened in the vicinity, and I remember she called me and she was so concerned, she was so worried, and she just wanted to make sure I wasn't in that particular area, because I legit went exploring throughout all of New York, went to places my cousin who lives in New York said that he has never even been to, and he's lived there for over 10 years. Like, I went solo and I went real hard trying to explore New York for that period of time. I think it was 2 weeks I went for, and I was by myself the majority of the time. Except I think my cousin took me to Central Park. Him and his wife took me to Central Park one of the days, and then we went to Empire State Building another time. But other than that, all of the tours and exploring that I did was completely solo. So I understand that she would have been a little concerned and a little worried about me. So I do understand, but I think she could have eased up a little bit. Give me a little ease up. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching my video, this little story time. I hope it was entertaining, and I hope that you liked the video. Comment, subscribe, or let me know if you've ever been in New York, if you ever had something similar happen to you. Comment down below where you think one of the nicer places in New York is to visit. So maybe next time when I go there, I'll check it out. I do weekly hair, beauty, lifestyle, travel videos, and a little bit of DIY, story time, all kinds of stuff just mixed into my life and what makes me me. So if you'd like to get to know me a whole lot better, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know every time I post a new video, and I'll see you in the next one.